Elena is pregnant. Will Derek be a good father? Will their relationship be strengthened by the new life that is on the way? Dive into the enchanting world of werewolves and witness true love unfold. Subscribe to our channel. Bonus Chapter 1. The house was in a state of chaos. Everyone was running around the house cleaning and getting ready for our wedding that would be on Friday, and it was Monday morning. I saw Isabella running towards the kitchen with a huge basket full of fruit. I just ignored her and walked to the living room, where it was the least packed place. When she knew I was pregnant and Derek had proposed to me, she turned. Well, she became a control freak who wanted everything to be perfect while I wanted our wedding to be simple and lovely. She did not let me lift my keys from the floor when I dropped them. She thought that I might hurt the baby that was growing inside of me. I just rolled my eyes and absorbed the situation. I sat on a couch when I remembered Derek. I missed him so much because he was with his dad and Cody buying the groom's suit since yesterday. Turned out that Derek was picky and wanted a suit that was perfect in his eyes. So his dad, Cody, and he stayed the night in the shop trying clothes and suits. Lucky for him, the shop owner was one of our pack members. He was a patient man, to tell you the least. He has to be if he didn't want to be killed by his very own alpha. Diana commented in my head, and she did have a point. Isabella, you know we didn't choose my wedding dress yet, right? I asked her as she entered the living room and fell on a chair next to the couch that I was comfortable on. Once I said that, her eyes widened. She forgot. Move, Elena, we gotta go to find you the perfect dress. I'll call Aunt Helen and tell her to meet us there. Now wear your shoes, Elena. We don't have the whole day. She practically yelled everywhere, and the pack members just closed their ears. Her voice was too loud for the werewolves' liking, and for my liking. I sighed and stood up from my very comfortable seat. "'Kay, but please calm down, Isabella. We have time and I'm the bride, for God's sake. I'm not worried like you. Just breathe," I advised calmly, and she did calm down. The other wolves gave me big smiles. Appreciation smiles. I just returned the smile and shrugged my shoulders. The pack members liked me and respected me as their Luna. It made Derek and me very happy and delighted. We had no drama that we usually see in the movies, such as a girl who tries to flirt with the alpha or an angry pack member who did not get what he wanted. It was all perfect because the Greymont pack was a big happy family that welcomed me with open arms. "I'm sorry," I heard Isabella apologize quietly. I waved my hand and grinned. "Who's ready to shop?" I asked her and she gave me her big smile. She nodded and we got out of our house. We were staying in the pack's house because Derek and Cody thought it was unsafe for us to be alone in their big homes. Our actual homes. We just agreed without making a scene out of it. As we entered the shop, we saw Helen sitting on a chair while talking to the shop owner, who happened to be a werewolf but from another neighboring pack. She looked nice and she was about 60 years old. "Hello, girls. This is my friend Brooklyn, and she'll help us with your dress fitting. I just hope you're not picky like my JoJo," Helen hoped, and we laughed. "Nope, I'm not picky at all. And I know what I want. Can you show me the catalog and I'll tell you what I want?" I asked Brooklyn and she nodded with a smile. After I flipped through the pages, my eyes landed on a beautiful gown. It was an off-white dress with long sleeves. I could not help but admire the dress. The girls saw my face and got it for me without asking. "We have this dress in store, and I think it will suit you on your wedding day. Just go to the fitting room and try it," the old lady said, and I grabbed it and rushed to the fitting room. I was eager to try it on. After many attempts, I wore it, which perfectly fit my body. I got out of the room and stepped in front of my girls. Once they saw me, they gasped and then jumped up and down. I just laughed and made a twirl. "What do you think?" I asked, hoping that they liked it. I looked around me and saw the two guards who came with us with wide eyes. "Do I look okay?" I asked them too, and they almost instantly nodded their heads. "You look beautiful, Luna," one stated, and the other smiled brightly. "Say yes to the dress, Elena. This is the one because it looks perfect on you," Isabella said, and I looked at Helen to see what she had to say. Her eyes were watery, and her hand was covering her mouth. "I've waited for this day my whole life." She sniffed and hugged me tightly. "You look magnificent. Derek will be too delighted," she added with a smirk. I just blushed. "This is it?" Brooklyn asked to confirm, and I smiled. "This is it," I confirmed and hugged her. "Thank you, and I hope I could see you at our wedding on Friday," I pointed out, and she beamed at me. "Of course, Luna. I would be honored," she replied, and we finished what we came here for. There is my beautiful Luna. Derek entered the pack house, followed by Cody and Derek's dad. As he saw me, he ran and embraced me as his life depended on it. I missed you so much, love. It was hard being there without you, he breathed in my neck, and I wrapped my arms around him. I missed him. Hey, my handsome alpha. I hope you got your suit, I mentioned with hope. He lifted his head and looked at me with adoration. Yes, I did. How was your day? He asked and sighed. Stressful, but I chose a dress for the big day. I hope you like it when you see it on me, I replied, and he stood up, then put one hand under my neck and one under my thighs. He carried me bridal style and started walking out of the house. I know that you'll look exquisite. Let's go to our home and relax, he replied with a hint of mischief, and I nodded without complaint. I want to cuddle with my one and only girl, he added, and I smiled. I could use that, and I might not be the only girl you love, I responded, and he arched his eyebrows while walking through the woods with me in his arms. What do you mean? He asked, and I chuckled and pointed at my stomach. I'm pregnant, Derek, so I might be carrying the second girl in your life, I said, and he nodded as the sudden realization hit him on his head. You're right. I love you so freaking much. He whispered. His eyes were filled with love, lust, and need, and I just melted at his emotions. I love you too. Can't wait for Friday, I cleared, and we got to our home. Bonus Chapter 2. Derek. I will not panic. I will not panic. Max, I'm panicking. Calm down, man, you got this. Don't be a wimp and man up. You are an alpha, for God's sake. Max replied with so much sass. I rolled my eyes and started biting on my nails. That was a habit that I got from my beautiful mate. I got plenty of habits from her, but I was happy that I did. It showed that we spent a lot of time together, and we did. Today was the first day I could not see her until she walked down the aisle. How can I not panic when I'm about to get married to the best, most generous, most glamorous girl on earth? What if I mess things up? What should I do, Max, tell me? I yelled in my mind, then put my hands on my head and pulled my hair. I hurt myself, but I did not care. I was too nervous to care about my hair and the pain. I know. And we are so lucky to have her in our lives as our mate. We will love her until the last day on earth for us, Max said calmly. I relaxed and stood up as I heard a knock. I walked to the door and opened it to be greeted by a grinning Cody and a proud dad. Hey guys, I said, and let them in. I pulled out the tie from the drawer and tried putting it on, but I failed due to nerves. I could not function properly. My nerves were worse than on my first shift. I was a wreck that day, and now I was way worse. Let me do it, son, Dad pointed out with a laugh, and I nodded, feeling defeated. A few seconds later, Dad finished, and I looked at myself in the mirror. I was decent and thought I was not worth her beauty and elegance. My worried face blew my emotions, and Cody touched my shoulder. Derek, you are my best friend, my brother, and if you ever looked ugly, I'd tell you. But you look handsome and you should be confident. She's lucky to have you, and you are lucky to have her. You are made for each other. And please don't forget the baby that will be part of the Woods family in a few months. You will be a dad, and I will be the cool uncle that you'll never be. Take deep breaths and let's roll. Cody's speech made me happy and ready to conquer the world, especially when he mentioned the baby. Our baby pup. Son, I must go now because I will walk Elena down the aisle. I'm proud of you and I love you. You have proved to be a strong alpha and a kind mate, Dad cleared, and I smiled widely at him. He hugged me for the last time and I almost cried. Thank you, Dad, I love you too, I replied, and we all went to where we should be. I can't wait to claim her as my wife. I stood before the priest, waiting for my beloved mate to show up in all her glory. I was about to pass out when the big door opened to reveal my stunning, breathtaking Elena. Her wedding gown made her look like a literal queen. She was my queen. Our eyes locked, and I could see her cheeks become red. She was so beautiful and royal-like, words could not describe the beauty that landed on us. My pack gasped at her ravishing beauty and bowed their heads in respect. They knew that if they kept staring, I would plug their eyes out of their heads. She was only mine and no one else's. As Dad walked her, Mom was crying at the sight. She dreamt of this moment since I first shifted. She was obsessed with finding my mate, claiming that it would be the best experience ever, and it sure was. Once Elena stood before me, I had to control myself and my wolf not to shower her with kisses. I just smiled with tears in my eyes and on my cheeks. I did not bother to hold them back as I looked at the beauty queen who graced me with her presence. I wiped my tears away. I love you, I mouthed, and she smiled while silently crying. She whispered, I love you more. And I chuckled. There was no way that she loved me more. Shall we begin? The priest asked us, and we all looked at him. He cleared his throat and nodded. We gather here to unite this couple in marriage. Their decision to marry has not been entered into lightly, and today, they publicly declare their private devotion to each other. I got lost in my mate's eyes as he continued his speech. Now, Derek, do you pledge to share your life openly with one another, and to speak the truth in love? Do you promise to honor and tenderly care for her, cherish and encourage her, stand together through sorrows and joys, hardships and triumphs for all the days of your life? He asked, and I nodded without hesitation. I do. He nodded and looked at my girl. Elena, do you pledge to share your life openly with one another, and to speak the truth in love? Do you promise to honor and tenderly care for him, cherish and encourage him, stand together through sorrows and joys, hardships and triumphs for all the days of your life? He asked her and she smiled brightly. I do. Derek, do you want to say your vows? The priest asked, and I looked at her again with teary eyes. I held the ring in my hand and squeezed it. I cleared my throat and took a deep breath. With this ring, I promise you that I will give you all my love from this day forward, and you shall not walk alone. I have no greater gift to give, as your love is my anchor, and your trust is my force. May my heart be your shelter and my arms be your home. As this ring has no end or beginning, so shall my love for you be. As I place it on your finger, I give you all I am and shall become. I love you, Elena. So much no one can imagine my joy right now. Max and I are dancing on the inside. I love you, my sweet mate. I vowed and put the ring on her finger. She cried and then she cleared her throat, ready to speak. I am proud to take you as my husband. For all the time we have been together, there has always been the kind of mutual understanding which is only shared when there is true love. You have helped me triumph over the challenges presented, encouraged my personal growth, and boosted my self-esteem. You have helped me become who I am today. Derek, I vow to trust and value your opinions and stand by your actions. I pledge to always treat you as my best friend and equal. I will ask for help when I need it and offer help to you always. Let us be friends and lovers and grow old together. I love you, Derek, so much. She vowed beautifully and put the ring on my finger. We looked at the priest for the final step. He smiled. I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. As those words left his mouth, she was in my arms, and my mouth over hers in seconds. I put everything in that kiss, from love to desire and need. She was now my bride, my wife, and it was the best day of my entire life. Bonus Chapter 3. Elena. Men can be super annoying when shopping for your baby that has yet to be born. It had been a few months after our perfect wedding, and I was due at any time. Derek had this fantastic idea of shopping some more for our baby. When I told him that we already had a room filled with clothes, diapers, and toys for the baby, he just shrugged and said he wanted to give him or her to the world. We did not know what we were having because we wanted the baby to surprise us. What do you think? He asked me as he grabbed a golden shirt. We got most of the outfits in a golden or gray color. It would suit boys and girls. I looked at it and smiled tiredly. My feet were aching, so I sat on a chair near Derek. The kicks died down and I felt myself getting sweaty. I felt lost momentarily and scared, and I did not know why. Derek was lost in choosing stuff when an older woman came closer to me with a concerned look. Are you okay, young lady? She asked as she touched my shoulder. I took a deep breath and nodded. Yes, I am just a bit dizzy. I'm resting my feet, I assured her, and she handed me a sealed water bottle. Thank you, I gladly took it from her and drank. I saw Derek approach me with a worried expression. He cupped my cheeks and looked me in the eyes. Baby, are you okay? He asked. Then he sat next to me and rubbed my back. My wolf relaxed at the touch, but my stomach did not. Suddenly, I felt pain in my abdominal area and grunted while wrapping my arms around myself. The old lady knelt beside me and checked me. Elena, is it time? Derek asked in a panicked tone, and I felt Max going crazy. The bond between us made me feel what he felt and vice versa. As I was about to answer, I felt another wave of pain hit me hard, and I screamed, grabbing everyone's attention. The woman nodded. It is time. I know since I'm a mother to 7 kids. I get it. She needs to be transported to the hospital ASAP. She ordered firmly and called for help. My beloved husband, my strong mate, was pacing around like he was in some deep shit. He is. He did this to me. As much as I loved him, he felt my pain and I felt good about it. Derek. I grabbed his hand and squeezed it tight, using Diana's strength. He groaned in pain but then smiled at me. At that moment I thought that he was loco. Baby, we will finally meet our baby. I'm so excited. He beamed at me, and I felt happy regardless of the pain consuming my whole body. Can you stand? He asked and I shrugged. Let's try, I responded, and he helped me. I tried to walk, but I felt something warm run down my legs as I wore a skirt. My water broke. I stated in a kind of calm tone, but I was nowhere near calm from the inside. I was being hysterical and Diana was not helping at all. She yelled in my head that it started hurting me, so I blocked her out. Call Isabella and tell her to meet us at the hospital with the baby's clothes in my bag, I told him as the paramedics arrived. They helped me get on the stretcher, and the lady shouted good luck, and we were off to finally meet our baby. After hours of agony, it was time to push. Luckily, the pack doctor worked at the same hospital we went to because Derek would not let anyone else touch me. His wolf instincts kicked in, and he was too possessive for his own good. He did not want anyone to harm his pup. When Derek saw the pack doctor, he relaxed and let him do his job. Luna, take a deep breath and push on the count of 3. He demanded professionally, and I managed to nod. The whole family and some of the pack members were waiting outside. Isabella brought the clothes and prayed that it would be a girl because she loved girls. Derek firmly grabbed my hand and whispered soothing words in my ear as I breathed heavily. 1, 2, 3. Push. The doctor ordered and I pushed for the first time. Nothing happened, so I tried again and again until I heard the voice I had been dying to hear for months. My baby's cry was music to my ears, and I felt tears stream down my face. I looked at Derek and saw him crying as well. His big, bad, alpha face was thrown out the window when he saw his little puddle of joy. There was no greater gift to mankind than a soul in a tiny body. His own child. Congratulations, it's a boy, the doctor stated as he handed him to the nurse to clean him and cut the cord. As I was about to hold my little boy, I felt another agonizing pain in my abdominal area. I panicked because I had no idea what was happening. I whimpered in pain and the doctor noticed. He ducked his head under the covers and checked. He gazed at Derek and smiled. Alpha, you are having twins. He exclaimed like it was 1 + 1 question, and I gasped. How was that possible? No one told us that we'd have twins. I was not mad or angry. I was delighted I would have 2 babies to spoil, but I needed him or her out of my body. It hurt too much. Yes, Derek yelled, and I smiled at his enthusiasm. I returned to pushing when the doctor commanded, finally letting out a long breath once it was over. It's a girl, the doctor announced, and my smile grew bigger. The joy was too much to handle that I cried my heart out. It was time that we held our babies and rested on the bed together, and looked at them with love and adoration. What should we call them? He asked as everyone left to give us our family moment. I looked him in the eyes and smiled. What did you feel when you knew you'd have a girl to pamper? I asked, hoping he would say what I was about to say. Joy, we said at the same time and laughed. Her name would be Joy. Period. Can Isabella give her her middle name? I asked with hopes that he would say yes. He kissed me on the lips and nodded. Of course. What should we name the little Alpha over here? He pointed to my arms that held my baby boy while he was holding Joy. I thought for a moment, and a name popped into my mind. How about Logan? I suggested. He thought about it and then smiled. Logan Woods. I like the sound of that. Yes, he said, and I kissed him, Logan's forehead and Joy's cheek. Can Cody give him his middle name? He asked after a moment of silence, and I nodded. I was so happy. Call them. They must be dying to see the babies. Wait, but don't tell them they are twins. Let's keep it as a surprise. Cleared, and he agreed. He handed me Joy and left the room only to return with his parents, Isabella and Cody. Once they saw the 2 babies in my hands, they froze in their spots and stared at us for a couple of minutes. Hey guys, I said with a sheepish smile. Isabella rubbed her eyes and nodded. Yep, I see 2. She confirmed. Did you know you were having twins? She asked as they approached the bed. I handed her Joy, and she beamed at me. Nope, it was a surprise even to the doctor. I guess she was hiding behind her brother. Her name is Joy, and I want you, Isabella, to give her a middle name that would suit her, I explained. She gawked at me and we all laughed. Are you kidding? She asked, and I shook my head. Okay, I've had this name for quite a while now. What do you think about Layla? She asked, and I nodded, then looked at Derek to see him approving the name. Joy Layla Woods. I tested the name and it was lovely. I loved it. Derek got Logan from me and handed him to Cody. And I want you to give Logan his middle name. He pointed it out and Cody literally cried. I did not see that coming, so I laughed softly. Cody nodded and took a deep breath. How about Zachary? Logan Zachary Woods? He asked, and I waited for Derek's approval because I liked it. He nodded and hugged his buddy, then took Logan and let his parents hold him. Isabella handed Joy to Helen, and we all admired the sight. Thank you, God, for blessing me with an amazing gift called family. Bonus Chapter 4 Derek. No one touches my pups. Max yelled and I sighed. Logan and Joy were 5 years old when a 7-year-old boy pushed Joy on the sand in front of her brother, just because she was a girl. Logan did not like that, so he bit him hard on his forearm, and the fight started. All that happened while I bought them ice cream a few meters away. Elena was resting at home because she had a fever, so I took my babies out for fun. It's not so fun now, isn't it? Good luck with telling Elena, Max exclaimed as we approached the kids. And I gulped at the thought of telling my beloved mate. My babies glared at the older boy, and I saw his mom walking towards him with a scowl. I sighed, held Logan and Joy in my arms, and waited for the mom to speak. I had a feeling that she would give us a hard time. That I did nothing wrong. I helped Joy. Logan whispered in my ear, and I smiled at him. I know, baby, don't worry, I replied, and Max agreed. The mom gasped. What did they do to you? She asked the boy, pretending to cry. That little imbecile. He was a little evil liar. Why is he crying? Your monsters did something to my baby. She yelled, and I pinched the bridge of my nose, trying to calm down. That lady was talking nonsense and I could not handle it. Where is Elena when you need her? Hey, my angels did nothing to your baby that didn't deserve doing. Do not call them monsters. Your kid pushed my little princess, so her brother defended her. Your child started it. I replied in a firm tone that meant, you don't want to mess with me, and glared at her. She scoffed, held her boy, and pointed a finger at me. Apologize to my son immediately, she demanded, but I was not fazed. Dada, why is she yelling at us? Joy asked me innocently, and I kissed her forehead. Because she's crazy, I stated loud enough for her to hear. She gaped at me, and her eyes widened, and I smirked. What did you say? She asked, and I smiled. You heard me. She tried to kick me in my sensitive area as I said those words. I dodged her with my babies in my arms and took a deep breath. The worst part about this ordeal was that she was a woman, and I could not hit her. As she wanted to attack me again, I shielded my twins and waited for her blow. But it never came. I looked up and saw my beautiful mate holding the woman's leg that was in midair. I let out a deep sigh and sat on the sand. Give me a break. Elena glared at her and pushed her back. The woman put her son down and stood up. Who are you to hit him? He couldn't do anything to you because you are a woman, and my husband is a gentleman. But I, on the other hand, can hit you. I will hit you if you don't flee from here immediately. My wife and mate yelled at her, and the woman showed fear in her eyes. I grinned at my love and kissed my angels' heads. Mommy's cool, Logan and Joy said in unison, and I agreed with a nod. The woman grabbed her son's hand and walked away. Elena came to us and hugged us real tight. Are you okay? She asked, and we nodded. Yes, thank you, love. How did you know, though? I asked as she sat next to me on the sand. She took Logan and placed him on her lap, and I did the same to Joy. She gave me her famous smile and kissed my lips real quick. I felt something was wrong with my babies, you included, she answered, and I laughed. It's a mommy thing, I guess, and a mate bond, she added. How are you feeling now? I asked, referring to her fever. She smiled and kissed my lips again. Much better after this, she replied, and we all laughed. As we were chatting and playing with the kids, I saw a man approach us with the same woman and boy who ruined our mood. I stood up and protected my family from any possible harm. Your children hit mine. And your whore pushed my wife. The man said in a deep voice, and I felt my eye twitch when he called my mate a whore. It was like he lit up something in my head that made Max growl. It was not that audible, but he heard it. The man did not see me coming when I grabbed his collar and lifted him from the ground. He was stunned and shorter than me. Say that again about my wife, and I will murder you in front of your family. Besides, your boy started all that. You should raise him well. I shouted at him, which grabbed a few passerbys' attention. I did not care because I was too furious. Let me claw him. Max begged, but I ignored him. That would not be a pretty sight to my babies. He was shocked for a second but regained composure and tried to sound brave. What's so wrong with calling your wife what she is? He dared to say, and I did not waste another second. I punched him square in the face. He fell on the sand and grabbed his bleeding nose. I smirked at the sight and then looked at his wife. Take your prick of a man and get out of our sights. If I see you again near my family, I will not hesitate to break more than your nose. I threatened in a calm tone that made me sound more intimidating, according to Max. They all backed down and ran away. Let's head home so I can cuddle with my best creatures ever, I pointed out, then tickled Joy and Logan, who laughed like there was no end. Let's go home, Dada, Logan announced, and we walked home. Ever since I was blessed with these exceptional babies that I was so proud to call mine, my life had been perfect. I did not want to change anything in it. A blessing was a blessing. Bonus Chapter 5 Elena. Time flies faster than anticipated when you have kids. It was only yesterday when I gave birth to Logan and Joy, my adorable quiet twins, and now they were facing their first ever suspension at the age of 15. I got a call from their homeroom teacher telling me that I should come to school ASAP. I thought they got hurt, so I mentally prepared myself and Diana to see blood. You prepared yourself, I don't overreact like you. Fine, I did. It was justified though. We saw blood after all. Yeah, but not my pup's blood. It's all good. They caused it. I yelled in my mind. Oh, I think Max is calling, bye. And she disappeared from my head when she felt she was being cornered. When I got to the principal's office, I saw Joy holding Logan down. He was about to launch at a boy, covering his cheek with a cloth, and it was filled with blood. I think his nose is broken, Diana remarked, and I agreed. What on earth happened here? I asked and slammed the door shut to get Logan's attention. Logan, calm down and sit. Logan sat quickly, and Joy hugged me when she realized I was there to end all this commotion. What happened? I asked her, and she looked at the principal and then the boy. I was walking with my friend and Logan to the next class when a ball came crashing toward the window from outside. Logan acted quickly and shielded my friend and me with his body. Joy explained and smiled at Logan. I walked toward my son and checked his neck and back for injuries. As I pictured how he protected his sister, I got emotional. I knew werewolves heal faster than humans, but still I was a mom. Mom, I'm okay. Please stop. Logan lowered his shirt, and I looked at the boy with the most likely broken nose. But how did you end up injured? I directed my question to the boy and waited. Your stupid son hit me. But why did he hit you? I asked. Logan was a rational kid. He would not harm others, especially humans, if the situation was not serious. The boy averted his gaze and looked down, because he was the one who threw the ball intentionally. When the glass broke, we walked outside to see how it happened, and then we heard Richard laugh and say to his friend that he scored 10 out of 10 and just needed to go and ask Joy if she was okay. You are a psycho. My punch was the least you could get. What if your ball actually hurt her? It would have if I wasn't there. As Logan wanted to pounce on Richard again, I physically stopped him. So my son was only defending his sister, I stated, and looked at the principal. Why did you call me then? They should not be in trouble. He should. I raised my tone and felt Diana taking over my mind, but I held her back. Yeah, we know. We just want you to take the twins home to rest, and we will give Richard the right punishment for his foolish acts. They have been through a lot, so a day off should help. At that moment, I respected the principal even more. The fuck? He should be punished for hurting me. Just because your whore of a mother is here doesn't mean she could protect you from me. Oh boy. So you are suspended for 2 weeks because you defended your mom's honor? Derek asked Logan and Joy as they ate their dinner. Yes, both replied, adding more food to their already empty plates. I am so proud of you both. No one talks shit about my mate and gets away with it. Good thing I was not there. I crossed my arms and looked at Derek. So you can hit a 15-year-old and spend the rest of your life in jail for abusing a minor. Yeah, good thing you were not there. I didn't think of that. Derek scratched the nape of his neck and chuckled. When do you think when it comes to our family? Joy asked, and Logan and I nodded. She's got a point. Never, and I don't regret it. You are my life. Bonus Chapter 6 Joy. I entered Dad's office without knocking and saw him on the phone with a serious expression. Dad, is it normal that my wolf hasn't talked to me in almost a week? I asked as I sat crossed legs on his desk. Hello to you too, pup. Oh hey Max Pa. Just the guy I need for my question, but why are you taking over? Is Dad okay? Yeah, he's fine. He just needs a bit of sleep since he has been dealing with pack stuff for the past month. And he's tired. I decided to let him rest and take care of the pack calls at least. Anyway, why are you asking about your wolf? Is Mel ignoring you because you fought or something? Max asked. I crossed my arms and sighed. She's been ignoring me, alright, but we didn't fight. She won't tell me what's wrong, and she's always jumpy and anxious, which makes me anxious. Max smiled and let go of the phone. Oh, I think I know why. Joy, you are 20, right? I nodded, and his smile grew wider. Finally. Finally what? I believe you will meet your mate soon, pup. His statement made me freeze. My mate. Oh yeah, I forgot about this topic. Exams distracted me for quite a while, but now Mel's behavior makes sense. I don't know how to feel about this. On the one hand, I want a mate and have a family. On the other hand, I am scared. Max's dark eyes changed color, and I knew Dad was back. Scared of what, honey? He stood up and gave me a tight hug. I got up from the desk and sat beside Dad on the couch. I am scared that he might not love me for who I am. I am scared of leaving you and of the what if things go wrong situations. Joy, you are my precious daughter. I love you so much. I know these feelings will stick with you until you find him, but it's normal. I was scared before I found your mom. However, my fear was that of not finding her and not the other way around. So be grateful that your wolf is feeling your mate, and believe me, he would have to earn my trust before you move out with him. Don't worry. I won't hand you off so easily. Dad's soothing and threatening words calmed me, and I felt Mel's happiness again. Let's go out, let's go out, let's go out. Why now? Let's go out now. She yelled. I frowned and Dad noticed. Is it Mel? Yes, she wants to go out. See you at dinner time, bye Dad. You either don't speak with me for a week or don't shut up. You will thank me later. Let's go to the basketball court. You are weird, Mel, but let's go. Hey Logan. I saw him lying on his bed with a book in his hand. Mel wants to go to the basketball court near the mall, and I have no idea why. Do you want to come with me? That's odd, but okay. Lon wants to smell some fresh air too, so let's go, Logan said and got up. Do we have to tell Mom and Dad? I just texted Mom and Dad knows. Let's run there. Why Mel? Just do it. Fine. Mel wants to run, let's go. She's freaking me out, I told my twin brother and he shrugged. Suits me, let's go. Would you tell me what's wrong? Nothing's wrong, don't worry, Joy. Then why are you in a hurry? You will find out in a minute. Mel, you are weird. I got my weirdness from you. Shut up, you sassy wolf. Huh, that's the best you got as a comeback. You need practice, dear. Whatever, I am not in the mood to argue with you. I could tell that Mel is driving you nuts. What does she want? Logan asked as we entered the court. We are about to find out. Now Mel, here we are. Sit down and wait. Wait for what? Just wait. Fine, let's sit down. I grabbed Logan's hand and we sat down on a bench. Wait, do you want an ice cream cone? He asked, looking at the ice cream van near the second entrance. Sure, he got up and walked away. I grabbed my phone, checked my upcoming assignments and almost cried at them. When will they end? I turned my phone off and gazed in Logan's direction. He was arguing with a guy instead of seeing him holding cones. The guy's back was to me, so I did not see his face. I got up and rushed to my brother's side if he needed help. However, as Logan wanted to punch him, the most fantastic smell entered my nostrils. Stop. I yelled and Logan looked at me. What do you want, Joy? Let me finish this quick and I will be with you. No, Logan. Stop. I repeated and the guy faced me. I was startled for two reasons. One, he was Richard, the guy who called my mom a whore 5 years ago. Two, he was my mate. Why? I want to finish my blow, which got interrupted years ago because of the principal. Logan's discourse made me laugh. Really, Logan? We broke his nose and hand. I think he learned his lesson, am I right, Richard? I asked with a smile. Yes, I was about to apologize for what I did, but Logan didn't give me a chance. I was a stupid kid back then and I am sorry. Yeah, right. Good thing I won't have to see you again. Bye. Logan said, and I grabbed his hand. Joke's on you, brother, because Richard's my mate. I told you we need to come to this court. I felt his presence. You're welcome. I am. Richard asked with a surprised expression, and we looked at him. I forgot he was human. You know what a mate is? I asked. Yes, my dad is a werewolf, but mom is a human. So I am half werewolf, half human. I don't shift, but I have the speed, vision, sense of smell, and the mind link you guys have. Yet since I don't have a wolf in me, I didn't sense that you are my mate, Joy. He looked at me with the sweetest smile. The boy from school was gone, and now he was a man who was my mate. Mind blown. Logan commented, and I laughed. Logan walked ahead of us, giving us privacy. What do you think your parents would do when they learn about me? Richard asked and stood in front of me. He was extremely handsome, and I did not notice this years ago because of his awful personality, which has changed. Thankfully. Nothing, they'd be very welcoming. Let's go meet them. Are you sure? He asked as he rubbed the nape of his neck. I held his hands and felt the sparks. I felt that, he added. I did too. You look handsome, by the way, I admitted. I was never shy, so I had no problem sharing my feelings. He on the hand was red. Thank you. You look beautiful, more beautiful than before. Mom, Dad. I found my mate. I called as soon as we entered our home. What? They both yelled back and rushed to the entrance. Mom stopped when she saw Richard and Dad got confused. Richard. Mom's comment made Dad squint his eyes, and then they winded as if a light bulb got lit in his head. Oh heck no. If you've enjoyed this chapter of Elena and Derek's love story, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more.